Hey guys, Toby here. First of all, head over to pearlemongames.com. If you want to try any of our games, you can click this link here and it will open you up to our site for games. Also, if you're interested in finding out or getting our free guide in how you can build your own video games in less than 12 weeks, click the link in the description below to access our free guide. In this tutorial, we're gonna learn about a cool way on how to duplicate objects in Blender. We're gonna be using the array modifier for this one, so let's create a new project. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna be adding first we need to, of course, select the object, and then we just need to add a modifier. No, we need to click this one and add modifier. And for this one, we're going to select array. Now we can see that it already added a duplicate cube. So if we can see here, we can see the fit type, the fit length, and then the fit curve. But we're going to be choosing the fixed count. And if we want to increase the number of duplicates, we can, of course, edit this one. Let's say 10. And then we can see here in the first configuration, we can see the relative offset. Now, if we hover, we can see a tooltip appearing. So we can uncheck it, but for this one, we're going to be checking it. And then we can see that we can adjust the distance for the X, Y, and Z axis. So let's try to just set the X axis to 1.5. And then we can also enable the constant offset so that it will have a constant distance from the base or the main object. But let's try to uncheck it for the meantime. Now, another thing that we can do here is we can check the object offset. So it's gonna ask, or it's gonna rely on another object for the configuration of the array. So for example, the distance, the rotation, and the scale. And for that, we will be needing to add another object as it's or the reference of the duplicates. So what we're going to do is we're gonna go to the object mode and then just click on add. Let's say we will add an empty cube. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna place it just beside the original one. And then we're gonna go back to our cube. And then we can click on here. So it will provide us with the list of objects that are visible in the collection. So for this one, we're gonna be selecting our empty object. Now, as we can see, the duplicates adjusted in relative to the position of the reference object, which is this one, the empty one. So if we select it, and then, for example, we scale it, now we can notice that the other duplicate objects on the cube here also change, but this time they didn't really change equally. As we can see, it gets bigger and bigger until the 10th cube. So any change that we will make or we will be making in the reference object will affect the other duplicates compoundingly. So for example, if we rotate this one, we can see that it will be rotated, but it will be more the rotation increases by each for each the rotation increases for each of the duplicate cubes. So we can also, for example, rotate it on the x-axis or z-axis. So we can make a lot of combinations for the array modifier. So again, if we scale it, it's gonna scale compoundingly. If we move it, of course, it's also gonna move compoundingly. And of course, if we scale it down, it's gonna scale down compoundingly. And yeah, so that's about it for the array. So this one is actually a good modifier because we can configure the duplicates that we'll be creating, and we can also select an object offset as an empty object, and any change that we will be making on that object offset will affect the duplicates or the arrays compoundingly. So it's increasing or decreasing per object duplicated. And that's it for this tutorial. Have a wonderful day.